blah, blah, blah.
You be like, you be.
Okay, I don't know what happened. Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Perfect Space. We are so glad that you chose to go live with us on tonight, or join us on our live rather. Tonight we are going to get started a little bit early. We know to wait 5 minutes, but we are coming to you from a different space, guys. Trying to do something a little different.
Right.
I've been kind of feeling like what you call a little gray area when it comes to Perfect Space, of how to create more content, how to bring you guys a different view of things or whatever. So we wanted to do something a little different tonight. So let's go ahead and jump into the topic, guys. Tonight we're talking about power dynamics. Power dynamics within our relationship, within your relationship, within all relationships. So I'm gonna jump into the first question.
Okay.
Because we kind of had like a little discussion of the discussion.
You talking about when you was getting mad at me?
No, when you were getting heated.
No, I did not get heated.
He was getting like all kind of tickled up and choked up in his voice, y'all.
I had cold in my throat.
He had no cold in his throat. Right now. He felt the type of way.
Sinus issue.
He better listen. The pollen is out here. We had to sweep the porch and everything, y'all.
Oh yeah.
So the first question here is, how would you describe the power dynamics in your relationship? I'll let you go first. How do you describe the power dynamics in our relationship? Do you feel like it differs?
I don't know. Come back to me on that.
No, I said what you said earlier.
What I said earlier?
The man is the head. Say what you said earlier.
all I said is that God called the man to be the head of his household, to lead and to guide. That was simply it, in a nutshell, right? Yeah, that's all I said.
Okay, I mean,
and I don't think that's the issue. I think that's biblical principles as it pertains to how the household should run. Now, that's not saying that my wife is behind me. I got an uncle that used to say, the man is the head and the woman is the tail. And I don't believe that. And I did used to say that, but jokingly, before we got married, I don't believe that the woman is the tail.
Y'all looking at me while I'm looking at y'all while we looking at each other?
I don't believe that.
Y'all looking at me while I'm looking at you while we looking at each other? Oh, okay.
I don't believe that. What I do believe, though, like I said before, that God calls the man to be the head of his household. And it's up for him to lead and guide his household.
Did you see those sparkles?
Yes, I saw those sparkles.
I think it's because it's iPad and we like thumbs up or something, but that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was.
It kind of gave you like sparkles off after your statement.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I want sparkles after my statements.
Mm-hmm.
How would I describe the dynamics of my relationship? I would say that you prefer to be right and you prefer to lead in every area. And anytime I question your leadership or question, not necessarily your leadership, I question your decisions.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I feel like I'm chastised, or like I feel like you operate like you the boss. Mm-hmm. And you have the end all be all. When the decision needs to be made, you make the decision, and whether I agree or not, we just gonna roll with what you say.
But a lot of times you often say, and I'll do it as well, well, I don't make no decision. I just let Jamie just do it. Jamie, whatever, because I just let you make the decision.
Well, I've told you in the past why I feel that way. Mm-hmm. Too. I feel our dynamics change a lot from when I was helping in the house financially to this past 3 years where you take care of everything. Mm-hmm. So I feel like you're bossier because
you clear for the people now. Don't make it plain for them now. I ain't just yelling at you and just fussing at you. And when you say bossy, make it plain for the people.
Okay, of course. If anybody knows me, they know that you can't boss me around.
Yeah, make it plain for the ones who don't know, because we don't bicker back and forth with each other. That's not what she's talking about. But go ahead.
That's not what I'm talking about. Yeah. So we can make it very clear.
Make it clear.
That's what we're talking. Not what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is, I feel like you exercise your control or exercise maybe a little bit of pride, a look. I wonder if I can get the sparkle back. Can I get the sparkle back? Would it come back?
No sparkle.
No sparkle. You exercise a little bit of more control when you have the reins financially. I felt like I feel like sometimes I have more of a voice when I have my own money. That's why I never would like. I would try to be a stay-at-home mom than not, because I feel like if I want to go get something, you say it's our money, but if I want to go get something, you operate it like it's your money. You haven't done that as much or whatever.
Because and pause. Once again, we're gonna go back. The way my upbringing, that's what I saw. I saw men dominating. You do what I tell you do. X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. Right. So now, for the ones that know my parents in my household, my mom and my dad, they did not operate like that. Okay. But there were some certain men in my family that I did see, and I did pattern myself after that. Right. And so it's just, sometimes I have to work through that stuff and say, hey, okay, this is not how you're going to act in this situation. And sometimes it is a process for me in that way.
Right. Let me give you an example. Say I say, you know what? I want to take the kids to get ice cream. This man will literally be like, and if I'm not working or I'm not paying majority of the bills and we're spending what he so-called says is our money, but in my brain is his money. Now, granted, I am very spoiled. There is most things that I ask for, as far as when it comes, and I don't ask for things. I guess that's the difference. I don't ask for much. So I guess that's why I act like that. But I can say I'm gonna take the kids to go get ice cream. This man would be like, I don't think it's a good idea. No. Granted, by any means, we are not poor. We are not struggling. There's thousands of dollars in the bank. And that man will tell me no for ice cream. And I feel like, well, it's just ice cream. Well, that's not what we need to spend in our budget. And that's it. I can't override him and say, okay, I feel like I cannot override him and say, well, I'm going to take my kids to get ice cream. And that's serious. That's how I feel. So that's what I feel like dynamics play in our household when it comes to financial bearing. That's why you be like, when you tell me, oh, you can stay home, and I be like, I'm gonna give me a job. That's why. That's why I'm like, oh my God.
Well, and a lot of times, and not to be transparent, but not tell our financial situation. A lot of times, when I first started doing EAC, right, and we were doing the whole full-time thing, and Lori was working from, she wasn't working at all. A lot of times, it was like she said, it wasn't a little bit of pride there, right? Because it was a little bit of pride.
I want the sparkles to come so you can show how much pride it was.
It was a little bit. Like a teaspoonful.
Let me show you how much pride it was. And man, I know when y'all watch this back, you'll realize how big his chest was out. In a good way. In a good way. And I understand how big his chest was. I understood with the pride.
Huh? I think we live now, though. I saw likes. Anyways. But my pride, I think we're live now. I saw people liking.
You saw people like what?
Yeah, someone liked it. We're live right now.
No, we're not.
Someone liked this thing twice.
If I put the thumbs up, this is how you know he old. Hold on. If I put the thumbs up right here, the thumb up will come on the screen, baby, because it's an iPhone product.
You lying to me.
Oh my God. That's prime example.
You lying to me.
He is stuck under a rock.
You lying.
Yes.
I knew that. But anyways, back to the point. Okay. I ain't want to go down that tunnel. But the pride, right? Honestly, right? And for me, because of the type of man that I am and becoming, that I used to be, and I'm coming out of those ways, when things were tight, I would not say anything to her. I would just deal with it on my own. I mean, it would be times where I would have to put the kind of negative or do what I had to do. I wouldn't say anything to her because I feel like, as the man of the household, that should not be something that she has to feel as it pertains to that pressure. Whether we in a good place, or whether it's a high moment, a low moment, or whatever, I don't want my wife to feel that. I don't want my wife to know what it's like to not know when a bill is due or to know when a bill is due. Right? So part of me, I accept that fully. And so a lot of times that's why I don't say things like, ha.
Why you keep getting the sparkles?
Got me, because it's God.
I don't understand.
It's God. It's God. That's what that is. But seriously, a lot of times I didn't say anything, right? Because I don't want my wife, seriously, y'all, I don't want my wife to know what it's like to know when it's due or when it ain't due. That's me. I've always been that way. And to be able to do it, we've been together for 14 years. So y'all have heard our stories about struggle, how things were. So to be able to do it when I saw it the first time, and right at that time, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was not smart for us to do what we did. The Lord should have kept working. But I saw a chance to carry the load for my family and just say, hey, you know what? I can finally be the man that I saw my dad be for the last 30 years of my life. I can finally be the man I saw my uncles were. And to me, I pride myself in a good way and I uphold that. And sometimes it comes off as bad energy. So I do want to apologize.
Look at you.
I'm serious.
I understand.
Because my thing is, and once again, not to get too deep, the way you were raised, and we're not knocking parents or households, but the way she was raised
By a single mama.
by a single
That went out
mom
here and got it. Like
that
literally.
got it. I don't want my wife to have to be out here, getting it. I don't want to depend on my wife's income. I don't want to depend on my wife's finances. Or, and I understand, you got to have two household incomes or whatever, but that's not my belief for my household. That's not what I want in my household. So.
Well, that puts some things in perspective. But like I said, how big your pride was just add context to why I feel like your pride or your.
So, Paul, you never heard me say this before?
No.
Oh. You sure?
No.
Oh.
But see, but it is unfair. It is unfair because what I am saying, you've heard before. Right. What you are saying is what I have not heard before.
Wow.
Sometimes if you don't provide any context or if you don't be vocal, because I don't think I take your opportunity to speak or express yourself away from you. I feel like I'm very open to you talking. I try to ask questions, check in. Like I feel like I'm always a listening ear. Now you talk more about EAC than you talk about maybe some of the stuff that you need to talk about.
Yeah,
and I fuss about that.
And that's honestly one of the things that I'm
having.
having.
The rain?
If so, you'd be all right.
No,
You're gonna be here that much longer.
No, it here sounds really nice.
But honestly, that's one of the things, y'all, that I'm having to work on. And honestly, that may be a topic for later on, like establishing success within your marriage and learning, the balance or whatever. But go ahead, babe. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. But I will say this too. I felt like our dynamic shift for me and our roles when you really started living your dream and started working your gift or whatever. I kind of felt like I was left behind in a sense. So I felt like especially because you provided context or whatever. I guess I felt like that because I was unsure of what I wanted to do. I was unsure of you've always said the same thing. You can go back to our friends from way back then. You said you wanted a certain type of business, what you wanted to do, and you're doing what you said. And it's 14 years later, and I felt like it took me so long to find my niche. It was some jealousy. It was jello and little bitterness because I felt like for the last 14 years I've always pushed whatever vision was surrounding you in a sense or whatever. So I felt like our dynamic shift when I felt like, dang, I'm the little person in our marriage and I don't bring as much to the table as you. That's why I always went out there and I got a job making buku. Ask him. Yeah. Any job, I've never stepped back except when I worked for the school because I know that was a God ordained thing. Any job I've ever had, I've always climbed the corporate ladder and my finances has always increased. I've never left a job and my finances decreased except for the school district. Right. Even where I am now, it's an increase from where I was before.
Benefits and all.
Or whatever. So I feel like I felt little.
What? And you know what though? And me and my sister was talking about this yesterday, really. When what happens when one person is now elevated within your marriage or your relationship and you leave the other one behind because of, or you feel like you have to leave the other one behind because of help me out, baby.
So because of them, they're not growing.
Yeah, they're not growing. Yeah, unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
And this is what we're talking about. And my thing is, I should have been more vocal. Now, and I'm telling y'all, when that train came in for the company,
and it's still coming in.
Still coming in.
Choo choo.
God, you know, it's all glory. Okay. And all glory go to God. Seriously, y'all. But for me in that moment, y'all, I'm telling y'all, I was like, baby, sit back, don't worry about it. But I should have been more vocal. Because I finally, as a young man, got to live my dream to provide for my family. When it came down to shopping, spring break, clothes, I mean, anything.
Anything. I could call and say, baby, I need $1,000.
Anything.
I mean, granted, I still did.
Yeah, she still can do that now.
See, she hesitant now, though.
Now.
But that's because we learn how to. That's because we learn how to store the fat.
Yeah.
Don't spend the fat, you store the fat. Yeah, you can do things, whatever the case may be. Just because I would say this all the time, just because you have it, that don't mean spend it.
That's right.
Or whatever. And I think a lot of us, because we have these aspirations and dreams to be great, sometimes we spend our fat real fast. And then when we at the meat, like, dang, I'm trying to shave off the meat.
Yeah, no, it's too late now.
It's too late. You got to dive back. So I'm gonna move to the next question here. Do you think that there is a noticeable dynamic balance between us? And I know when we were talking earlier, our older babies was like, yeah, or whatever. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing that there's a noticeable power difference or whatever, because the Bible says I am the weaker vessel or whatever. I feel like that can be negative in a certain light, but I feel like overall, if a man is leading or whatever, I feel like there is
with a vision.
With a vision, of course. Vision. I feel like there is going to be a noticeable power balance or whatever, or a dynamic balance.
And honestly, for us men, sometimes we can become boastful, like Laura was saying earlier. We can become boastful and prideful because we heard God the first 3 times and it was right. We can become where you don't listen to your wife, or you don't listen to your mate or your spouse or whatever. And when she says something, then you push her thoughts or her ideas or her passion to the side because you heard God for the first 3 times because you're the head of the household, or the case may be. I've always said this, even more recently now, your wife is your favorite here on earth. Your wife, not woman, but your wife, which is a woman. Let's be clear. She's your favorite here on earth. When God speaks to her and she releases it to you, I mean, heaven opens. I mean, heaven really, really opens. And a lot of times,
for a woman that is praying and seeking God.
For a woman of God.
Let's be very clear. Because I don't want somebody to listen to this and be manipulated.
Yeah.
Because a woman's telling you to do something and she don't seek God.
It got to be in the will of God.
First of all, she got to bear that type of fruit in her personal life for her to even, her personal walk, for her to even speak into her husband's life, to be able for him to be able to listen and take warning or whatever. The Bible also says to have wise counsel. The wife need to be wise. Yeah, she can't be out here just doing anything or whatever. And you're just supposed to be listening. I wanted that context in it because I don't want somebody to listen to that and be misconstrued or manipulated.
Oh, he said you supposed to listen to me, so you better listen to what I no.
Yeah, and people literally will do that. And I had a conversation with one of my friends yesterday or whatever about when I said women are very manipulative. Yeah. We know what buttons to push. We know what triggers to push in our man. We know what will send them off for rails. We know what crocodile tears to cry to get what we want. We can be very manipulative. We don't like to say it, but we can. Yeah. I know what triggers my husband have. I know what ticks he have. I know, if I cry certain tears or what carrying on or what how it'll mess him up and everything. I know that. I'm not crazy or whatever.
Mess me up, baby?
Yeah, oh baby, yeah. telling me no, mess you up.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to tell you no. But yeah, definitely. I feel, and for me, because I was so spearhead, especially early on, if Lori would say something to me, I'll be like, okay, and I'll just put it at the back of my mind. I wouldn't even pay no attention. I wouldn't even have no thoughts of it or whatnot. I don't know. I hope nobody ain't trying to break into my truck. You breaking into my truck, yo? I hope nobody trying.
That ain't your truck, sugar.
Something must be going on over there.
That's all right.
Hoping no bad guys out there. Got my 9 on me. Anyway, Oh yeah, I took that too.
Oh my
Anyway,
God.
so a lot of times Lord would say certain things, and I feel like now we're just not catching up because I was not slow and patient enough to hear from her. Because she would say, "Well, baby, I think you need to cut these group of people off. I think you need to do this in business, or I think you need to do this so we can line us up in the household." And I would say, "Oh, okay." And then I'll go here in the streets, and I'll be like, "Oh, baby, guess what? Guess what? Guess what I just heard." And I've actually done that a lot. And so I just now, and I still have my moments, but now I say even I mean at least 3-4 times a day that what your woman says, what your wife says, like Laura said, what your woman of God says is a lot of things are gold, literally, and it can cause you to go around some stumbling blocks and have you at the first, have you at first.
I will say this. I feel like when it comes to the power dynamics of that, I feel like I always felt like you could speak into I should be receptive of you speaking into my life and you telling me things or whatever. But like you said before, how you wouldn't listen, I always felt like, you know, you could, when you look at me as the weaker vessel, it was almost like God wasn't speaking to me or whatever. So you sometimes will ask my opinion, and after a while, I wouldn't give it at all. I wouldn't
Now,
say
honestly,
anything.
what's crazy is now what first attracted me to her. I let y'all know we was on the phone talking, and we was on the phone with her cousin, and she's like, "Jamie, I see you doing this." I mean, she just started seeing all kind of stuff, and I said,
She's a
"Oh,
prophecy junkie.
come on, prophesy. What y'all see? Come on, lift your hands, lift them dirty hands to a clean God. I'm ready to receive y'all." Anyway, I'm telling you, she would say something, y'all, and it would be spot on. And to be honest with you, and I've never said this, I got common with my voice. I got common with the voice and the mouthpiece that God gave me. It was like, oh, it's Lord. And a lot of times like when you become common with someone, it's like, you take their
What they want
words,
for granted, yeah.
you take the words for granted, and it's like, okay, you don't move as quick or you don't move as swiftly versus a stranger you meet in the street. So they say something to you, and boom, you get it.
Like one thing I can say, I will say one of my strong points in our marriage, um, that I feel like because I feel like both of us have strong weak points and strong points when as far as taking the reins on dynamics in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my strongest, I am an amazing judge of
Oh yeah,
character.
absolutely.
I ain't gonna say judge. I have the spirit of discernment so heavy on me. I know that is one of my spiritual gifts. I know ahead of time by small things when people start acting funny, moving funny. I know small gestures. I ask him. I will remember something in messages and stuff back from years ago right here, and I can pull it up, and I remember what somebody said back then, and Todd, is it is literally the Holy Spirit, and it keeps me guarded.
Right.
Not guarded. It keeps me protected. But sometimes I can say, in that spirit of discernment, go ahead and cough, baby. Y'all, one of our production workers, we outside, and they're popping to kill her. She's
I'm gonna make him go inside in a minute. Go on, come on.
You know how they get things stuck right there. Go cough, baby. Go ahead, baby. Get it out.
They gonna put a mask on. What in the what? What you got going on? With your mouth all open like that, teeth showing all 95 of them.
Oh God, I'm crying.
And then you got the nerves to drink something cold behind that cough.
Y'all just saw her face.
Where your mask at? You need to be masked up.
Let that part been
choking
her.
Out here.
That part been choking her. She said,
"Oh Lord,
oh my God,
we gotta hurry and wrap this up because you out here choking and strangling
and we need our team to come back next.
We ain't got no insurance on you out here on the porch now.
You on the 1099? Insurance don't come with this here.
Look here, we gotta wrap this thing up. Go ahead and close this thing out.
But like I said, as far as dynamics of how we deal with individuals and we deal with ourselves, I feel like strengths and weaknesses are a big play in that or whatever. Now, do I feel like Jamie is better in finances? Going back to the top of our conversation, I feel like dynamically, I feel like he has the power over that situation. I do feel like he has always been better in finances than me, but I feel like I've been around him enough where I don't feel like I spend frivolously. Now, will I spend frivolously on my children? Yes.
Absolutely.
On myself? No. You can ask him. I rarely ever ask for anything. I am not a girl that got to get my nails done every week, toes done. I do my own hair. I do my own girl's hair. I braid my children's hair. So I'm like literally a month based on what y'all pay outside here. I save like $800 a month or whatever because I don't have to have those things. It's not that I can't afford the things. I just feel like sometimes I don't feel like sitting in no daggone nail salon because they take too daggone long. Yeah. I don't want to be there all day.
Pause right there. I just had a thought, and this is not to gloat or not to brag either. But I couldn't do it at first. But last year, and when we started doing, EAC full time once again, it was a blessing. And going back to my open statement, it was a blessing and an honor to be able to say, "Baby, let's go get your feet done. Let's go get your toes done." I'm talking about bottom and top.
I said
bottom and top. Let's go get them all.
To the spa almost every month.
Let's go get it done. And I can do it now. Let's go get it done. But
we have to grow and be smart with it.
Or whatever. Yeah, let's go get it done now. And so, just to go back to again, baby, it wasn't the type of pride that you thought it was. It was like, I'm proud to be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I finally arrived to be the man of God that you always saw me become. I finally rise to the occasion.
Well, I am very proud of you.
And I'm at home base. And I can honestly say, hey, like I'm taking care of my family. I'm taking care of my household without anyone's help. Just off of faith, y'all. Believe in God. Just off of faith.
Well, I appreciate you. Yeah. And you can't whisper.
I ain't trying to whisper. I got 14 years in the game. If you heard it, you heard it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna say this. This is the next question. How do you and your partner maintain individual autonomy and independence? This is where I feel like is a struggle for you, or has been a struggle for you.
Say has been. Come on.
I feel like sometimes now too.
Okay.
Or whatever, and I feel it because I have not exercised it a lot.
Okay.
We've always been kind of like glued at the hip with each other all the time. Like your mom will always say, y'all always with each other. My mom be fussing at us and say, she'll tell you, don't come back to my house, Jamie. I don't want to see you for 2 weeks. I don't want to see you inside my house for 2 weeks. He will come and sit in the car. He ain't go in the house. He sit in the car to come see me. Well, we've always been glued at the hip. Like we did a lot of traveling as musicians together all our life. We've always just been around each other or whatever. And one thing that I am attempting to do now is to exercise my own independency within inside of my marriage. And I feel like I struggle with that. I feel like you don't struggle with that. I feel like you do because you have EAC. I feel like that you exercise a lot of independence. It's work, but that's what you love to do. That's a part of your makeup. So you go and you on the phone and you out and about and you do it. But I'm just like, okay, I got kids and I'm just home. I go to church. I come back.
But you've always said that you're a homebody.
But I'm 31 now and I'm changing. I'm evolving and I want to go and I want to travel and I want to do. And a lot of times, I guess the last season I felt like I was stuck because on my own financially I couldn't do it because I worked at the school. School ain't paying no money, but I felt like I had to edge. I could do it, but I had to take your money, even though you would say our money, I had to take your money to do it. And you allowed me that leisure, but it was always with my children, not me. I never asked to say, okay, let me take some money and I'm gonna go down there and me and my best friend Chanel, hey Nelly Pooh, is gonna go out and hang out or whatever. I never asked or whatever, but I felt like I didn't have the right to ask for that, which was my own thoughts. or whatever. But I feel like right now I'm navigating independency in my own way. Like I want to be independent to be able to make those decisions and go and do for myself or whatever. And you not feeling no type of way about it. I hope you don't feel no type of way.
No, I mean you need your own identity within within a marriage. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to get so you so used to watering down yourself where you don't have your identity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This bishop of the church where we used to attend, he said after his kids were grown, um, his wife started doing her thing, and he was like, hey, I'm here. Hey, don't forget about me. And so I feel it. With that being said, as long as it's within reason, you know what I'm saying, and you're not doing anything out here to tarnish our name and to tarnish your name, and you being integral with whatever your doings are. I don't see issue with that at all.
See, my perspective is different because he's saying, "Hey, I'm here now."
Mm.
Before, her potential was on the children because his life was, as a pastor, he was going a million miles a minute as a pastor, which put her and her children essentially on the back burner, or whatever.
Or it could have been flip side too. Both of them could have been doing ministry.
I'm just saying, I'm just putting it into context or whatever, because she's not saying, hey, I'm here. I'm pretty sure she was saying that before. Like right now in our situation, you go a million miles a minute. Most of the time, Jamie come in the house on the phone, Jamie in the shower on the phone, he out the door on the phone, he on the toilet on the phone, he just going, and I understand that he's running a business, and a business is not 9 to 5 like what you think it is. A business is sometimes 24, 48, 72 hours.
Yeah, I was on the phone before we started this live.
Literally, I had to tell him, hey, I had to wave him down. Hey, you got to wrap it up so we can focus on this.
I really want to get back on the phone after we get off this live, but I'm gonna talk to her first to see if it's okay, because you know. Sure, I'm gonna talk. I'm trying to. She brought this to my attention, y'all. I'm being honest with you. She brought it to my attention, and this is something that I'm working on. So if I gotta send a text and say, "Hey, listen, I can't get back with you on the night. We'll talk first thing tomorrow, or try to set up appointments throughout the day," then that's what I do, just so that I can give that time and curve out that block.
So like I was saying, no, I'm not meaning another. Like I was saying, I feel like we're in that now as I am the, hey, don't forget about me over here. It's me. And now that I have people that I trust to keep, we have people that we trust to keep our children, and I'm leaning and able to do more or whatever. And I go off and I do something. This like the day how you was like, when I went to Myrtle Beach, you was like, dang, don't leave me again, baby. I miss you or whatever. Because Sunday is the day that you don't really do a lot of EA at all. So now you want my attention. I'm like, I've been waving you down for attention all week long. And it's not saying it's ignored, but it's just like, okay, well, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't want us to in turn, well, I'm waving you down and I get tired of waving. And when my kids get up and go away, and guess what? You didn't ready to settle down. I know what you're doing. I'm living my life like it's golden. You waving me down. It becomes where it's unfair.
Right.
Or whatever. And that's why I'm trying to exercise my independence now for you to be able to get used to me being able to go and do whatever. Because you go and you just do.
Within reason now, of course.
Now, you ain't got no friends now. I be trying to get you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, no. You do have friends. You and Derek go out weekly. That's your accountability partners.
Yeah, but and to put a pause right there, me and him used to go out on the weekends, but I stopped going out on the weekends because Lori said that she wanted more family time. So I said, man, listen, I don't want to go hang out, during the weekends. Let's just do it during the weekday on a lunch or something. We get together on a lunch because I want to be able to spend time at the house, even if I'm just in the room. My presence at the house is important, and I want to always keep, no matter how busy we get or how much we grow or evolve, or 5 years we come back and listen to this life, like, wait a minute, we don't involve what I wanted back then. I don't want that, or I want something different. Regardless of how we grow, I never want us to become in part. I always want us to walk together as one, as the word declares. Right. So even though we want to go out and live our life like it's go do all of those kind of stuff, I still want us to be one. Because when them kids grown and old, they gonna be me and her.
I'll be fine too.
You know what I'm saying? So I want us to have our own life. I want us to do that, but I don't want us to lose each other in getting our own independence. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. And I feel like as we get older and as our relationship grows, our dynamics are always going to
It's
shift
always gonna shift.
back and forth, or whatever. I just want to make sure, like you said, we're staying together and walking together in one, but still us having some type of individuality
Yeah, you got to. Yeah.
outside of this or whatever.
You gotta have a moment to let your hair down and
right. Just like today, like I needed to see my best friend. Like I needed that. I don't talk to Jamie. No, I don't talk on the phone. Chanel, besides my mom and my sisters, Chanel is the only woman I talk to on the phone. At all. Now, I consider my children Jordan, Kaya, Max, and all of them too. So, but then I don't talk to them on the phone. I don't really even text. What I do is they be at the house or whatever. But what I do is I don't talk to any other women on the phone. That's my best friend. I only talk to her because we have a very understanding. She holds me accountable, whatever the case may be. Oh, so I needed that time away or whatever. But I'm very cognizant. I don't ever want my husband to feel like I need time away from him. I need time just for me or whatever the case may be. Yeah. Well, guys, this is the Inner Perfect Space, guys. We hope you enjoyed.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
We had some revelations on ourselves or whatever. And like I said, this platform is for us healing, and we're navigating our own journeys. And like I said, I love when our own revelations and our own aha moments come out when we have dialogue openly in front of you all, because I pray that helps somebody else too or whatever. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. So long. And tell us how you like this new setup and content. Well, we may be in a different venue on next Sunday. We'll see. Bye, guys.
See you later.